Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tammy and this is Happiness Created. Today I have three really cute Easter home decor pieces to share with you. So let's get started. This first one, I got this floral foam cone, say that 3 times fast, and as you can see, I painted it yellow. It was really bright, so I decided to go over it with the white chalk paint. So as you can see here, I have this beautiful garland that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I have these tack pins that I was going to use to secure the garland into place on the foam. However, after trying just the pin and trying some hot glue, I realized that the garland was just way too stiff and it just wasn't going to work out for me. So I do end up taking the garland apart and just placing the pieces individually into the foam. And then once I get all of the individual pieces in, I just kind of arrange everything so that it mostly covers all of the foam. And then here I am just cutting out the bottom of the cone, because I am going to put some of the fairy lights on here, and I wanted to be able to put the battery pack in the foam itself, so that it wasn't sitting out on the table beside the tree. And then once I get the battery pack into the foam itself, I just take the lights and go around the tree and try to just cover everything until I run out of lights. And that's pretty much it. There's the battery pack. I did end up putting some batteries in so that I could show you guys how it lights up. Yeah, so here is the finished project. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's so super stinking cute. And then for the next project, I took one of these trifle or truffle, I think it's trifle dishes from the Dollar Tree, and some Waverly chalk paint in the color moss. And I'm just going to go over this dish with 2 coats of the paint. So now that the dish is all dry, I take some of the floral foam from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue a few pieces in place to use later on. Now I'm just taking a scrap piece of wood and I'm just going to paint it white so that I can make a little sign. Then I just take a little bit of the, I believe it's the Spanish moss that I got from Dollar Tree, and just going to cover those foam pieces. And then you see me rummaging through my Easter supplies, and I pick out some of the carrots and the eggs from the bag, and then I'm just going to make my little sign, and I'm going to take a wooden skewer and just hot glue it to the back of the sign. Once I cut the skewer to the length that I want, I'm just gonna put just a simple coat of white paint on the skewer, and then I'm going to poke it into place. So now I'm just going to play around with the placement of the carrots and the eggs, and once I get them where I think they belong, just taking the hot glue and gluing them all into place. Now once I get all of them into place, I feel like it just needs a little something. So I grab the thin jute from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make a very, very simple shoestring bow to put on the sign. And then once that's completed, I'm still not quite done with this project. So I grab the thicker jute that I purchased from Amazon, which I will link below, and I'm just going to run that around the top of the dish, just to give it that little extra something. And then I'm still not quite satisfied, so I take one of those burlap bows that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just glue that to the front of the dish. And I think that's exactly what it needed, and now I'm finally done. So here is the finished project. I think it's so adorable. So let me know what you guys think. And then for the last project, I take one of those galvanized flower pots that they have at Dollar Tree, and took some of the foam. And here you can see that I'm just kind of gluing it into place, so that I can start putting the floral into it. Now earlier I cut the pieces off of the stems so that I would be able to push them into the foam. So now I'm just going to put them all in the foam and just arrange them in some fashion that I think looks good. So now, as you can see, the glue did not hold to keep the foam in place. So I really piled it up in the bottom of this pot to get it to stay. And then I'm going to take some of the white rocks from the Dollar Tree and just put them all around the foam so that I can put some of the moss in and not have to use too much. So here you can see that I actually think I'm done with this project. And then I remember that I have bunny ears and a bunny tail. So I figure I'm going to use them and make it look like I have a bunny in my flower garden. So I take the ears and I glue them onto skewers and just poke them into the foam. And then I just take that bunny tail, and it has a little clip on the back, and I just clip it to the front of the pot to give the illusion. And here it is in all its glory. How cute is this, guys? I think it's too stinking cute. Let me know what you think. And let me know what you think of all of them, actually. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to make a really super cute egg and carrot piece of decor. So right here I am just going to paint this little plank that I got from the big bag of assorted shapes from the Dollar Tree. Anyway, it's one of the long planks, and I'm just giving it a quick coat of orange paint from Americana, I believe it is. And then I feel like it's too bright, so I sort of just go over it with a quick coat of the Waverly White chalk paint just to kind of tone it down a bit. Oops, just kidding. It's not the Waverly white chalk paint. I took some of the white Americana acrylic paint and just went over it to tone it down. So then I take the little dish that I found in the garden section where the fairy garden pieces are, and I am going to give that 2 coats of the Waverly chalk paint in white. So here I'm staring at the vinyl because I cut out some words on the Cricut and realized that the vinyl was too short and the bottom words got cut off. So I had to go and just cut out just the bottom section for the sign. So now I'm just going to take the transfer paper and I'm going to line up the wording and try to center it as best I can. Then I decided that I would add some of the beads that I got off of Amazon. I will link the description below. And I painted the back and the beads orange so that I could put this either on a shelf or a tiered tray and the back wouldn't show. And as you can see, I added some of the moss from the Dollar Tree. I just put some hot glue down. I'm not quite sure where the footage went for that, but anyway, so there's hot glue and then I just covered it with moss, and now you can see that I'm just adding some extra glue in the back just to reinforce everything so that the sign doesn't fall over. Then I just take some of these cute little eggs. that I got from the Dollar Tree. They're like a styrofoam, and I obviously pull all of the hangers out because I won't be needing those. And I just take a few of them and hot glue them onto the moss, and then I take some of the carrots and I add those to the little dish and the sign. And of course, as you can see here, I didn't let the sign dry completely and got orange paint all over my hand. Anyway, here is the finished project. I think it came out so adorable. Let me know what you guys think. And for this next project, I'm going to make an oh so cute wreath with the wooden bunny and the car cloth that I got at Dollar Tree. So I just lay the cloth out flat, and then I take some of the spray adhesive that I got at Dollar Tree and give that a quick spray. And then I just go around the edges with the hot glue gun. So once I get that all glued down, I take my scissors and try to cut through the cloth, but that wasn't working out so well for me. So I took the fabric cutting tool from Cricut and just kind of rolled over and just cut it through. And good grief, I think that was the hardest part of the entire project. Anyway, so then I go ahead and just take my scissors and just kind of cut off the excess as much as I can. Now I'm just going to run some hot glue around the edges and fold the edges of the cloth over just to make sure everything is nice and tight on the front part of the bunny. And this is what it'll look like when you're done with that part. Then I found this cute little bunny tail at the Dollar Tree, and it has a little clip on the back. I was gonna take it off, but then I decided that I was just going to clip it onto the bottom of the bunny. And then I just took some hot glue and kind of glued it into place. So that it didn't end up falling off on me. And just kind of reinforced it in the back as well. Then I take this floral foam ring that I got at Dollar Tree as well, and I'm gonna cut off a piece of it and cut it in half so that I can put the ring in between the two pieces. It'll all make sense in just a minute. I think I saw Sammy at Unicorn Dust Design doing this. I believe it was her. Anyway, I thought it was a really great idea, so I figured I would try it. I do have to tell you, it was a little bit difficult getting that knife through, but you know, I managed it in the end. And then I just took the hot glue and I put a very generous amount on there, probably way more than I actually needed. You'll see in a little bit that it kind of oozes out the side a little, but I'm able to just kind of peel it off, and you in the end don't see it. So then I take some of the floral wire and I'm just going to wrap a couple pieces around to try to hold it together in case the hot glue fails for whatever reason. Once I was done peeling all of the excess hot glue that was oozing out everywhere, I took some of this boxwood greenery that I got from Amazon, which I will link below, and I just start cutting pieces off until I get enough to cover the bottom section of the foam. So once I feel like I have enough of the greenery, I take some of these beautiful white lilacs from the Dollar Tree, which, by the way, lilacs happen to be my favorite flower, just in case anybody wanted to know. Anyway, so I get my wire cutters and just cut these a little shorter and start poking them into the foam. I also end up using some of the purple lavender bunches. I use the dark purple and the light purple, and then I end up using a little bit of baby's breath as well. Now that I'm happy with the amount of florals I have, I take the bunny and line him up, and then I just take some hot glue to the back to glue the ring right to the wooden side, or actually the bunny to the ring. Okay, so I thought I already added the baby's breath, but apparently not. So anyway, here I am taking just a couple pieces and I'm going to add that to the floral. And then I'm going to just take my hot glue gun and just put a little bit on the bunny's little backside, just to glue it to the flowers, just to give it a little more stability, so he doesn't come flying off. And then I was kind of looking at it and saw that, you know, you could really see the foam quite a bit from below. So here I'm just taking some moss with the hot glue gun and just gluing a little bit on the bottom just to kind of hide the foam. And then I'm going to take my scissors and give it a little bit of a haircut. So I'm not really sure what happened to me the past couple of days, but I lost quite a bit of footage. So I did put a couple of little ribbons on her ear and a bow at the bottom. And then I took that same ribbon and made a hanger. But here she is. I think she's so adorable. Let me know what you guys think. I hope that you enjoyed this video.